Hey, so I'm waiting for a train, so I thought I'd review Ghostbusters, which I saw last night, and I really liked. I thought it was a pretty good film. It's so rare to come away from a comedy film and just feel happy about it. Usually there's a little twinge in the back of my head when like, oh, that joke was a bit blah. But no, I pretty much liked all of it. I would say that if you're not a fan of the director's previous stuff like Bridesmaids, then you'll probably go in with a bad attitude and probably not warm to the characters. There was definitely a scene or two at the start where the audience was still trying to like get in on it, but I think that's the same with Bridesmaids, and that's why a lot of the jokes in the trailer work so much better in the film, because a lot of the comedy and these kinds of films, and a lot of films, comes from knowing the characters and the situations and the context. But I would say that a thing that the Ghostbusters films will have to balance is comedy and scares and action. And I'd say this film is probably the least scary of the three. I'd probably say it's funnier than the second one. I feel like the first one is misleading. Like, it's funny because we've been conditioned to find Bill Murray funny, even if he's just walking around and sitting down and stuff. Like, when I tried to think of actual lines or quotes from it, there's a few pretty good ones, but I think this film has those same kind of lines. It has that kind of, the tone of the films isn't about joke, it's about sort of characters and very conversational kind of humour. And I think it does have this. I would say that, yeah, if there was going to be a sequel to this, I would probably want a scarier villain and sort of threat. Just because I feel like in the other two, they had like ghosts throughout the film, and then the end was like some weird eldritch horror demon from another dimension, and it kind of really upped the stakes. And this one was pretty much just ghosts. Not that I don't like ghosts, and the ghosts in this I really liked. So I actually thought the special effects were really good. I saw a review which said, bad acting and cheesy special effects, and they didn't go further explaining why they found they were cheesy, and it's a bit of a hack reviewer thing to say cheesy special effects. I thought the film, to talk about the controversy, it's very confusing when you're watching it that there was ever any controversy about it, because you just forget they're all women so quickly. I mean, I never even thought it while watching it. It definitely doesn't do any kind of like, but they're girls kind of stuff in the film. There's some little gentle meta jokes. There's like a bit in the film when they put one of their findings online and they read some of the YouTube comments, and there's sort of like meta humor about how hated they are. And little things like that. But ultimately, I really liked it. The new 4 Ghostbusters. None of them were female versions of previous characters. They're all very much their own unique characters. I know people were worried about Patty because of the trailers. She seemed quite one note. She's the only one that's not a scientist. And I would probably, I would have preferred the team to be a bit more diverse, I suppose. But she was the most relatable character. She was really pretty, three-dimensional. I really liked that she was really smart, and she was really smart in her own right, and there was no like, spooky explanation about why. I think about the last season of Sherlock where Mary Watson knew all this, stuff, and Sherlock was like, you would never know this stuff unless you're a super secret spy. Whereas you have characters like Patty who they like reading, that's it. They like facts. People love facts. I feel like Holtzman, she's gonna be very popular on Tumblr and with cosplayers. I think she's just a really cool character and really weird. She's definitely got a very strange sense of humor, and I feel like everyone's coming into fighting ghosts from a different place. They're all doing it for different reasons. They all get a different thing out of it. So she's definitely like a thrill seeker, and I don't know. I just really liked it. I mean, it had slight sort of patches of not being the best thing ever, but it was never offensively bad to me. It was a very nice Ghostbusters film. That's the end.